Hey guys, good news. I was a hero again, saving a client over $150,000. You know how I did that? Listening. 100% listening. I've been involved in cold room roofs for a long time. And there was, and with multiple different contractors and multiple different architects. And if you've never done a cold room, I'm going to save your client a bunch of money by listening to this video. It's going to be about probably 2 minutes. I'm going to try to cut it as short as I can. The owner hired an architect and an engineer to figure out why this cold room destroys itself every 5 years, the roof. And the architect's like, I want you to go with me. I do discovery for this architect, and he knows me. We went. There was an engineer, and I said in the beginning when we got started, my name's Doug. I'm in documentation. I'm coming here to document for the architect. And no big deal. He didn't, we talked, and he went round and round with some things that he's doing. And then in the end, at the conclusion of I said, what do you think's the problem here? And he goes, I don't know, we're going to have to get testing done. And I go, you see that temperature gauge gun that you have there? I go, yeah. We were in a cooler that was 70 below zero. And I said, what's the temperature of the bottom of that deck right there? Make a long story short, 70 below zero. What is it right next to the halogen light that's attached to the bottom of the deck? 10 degrees. So there's an 80-degree difference between that 5 feet there. You think that's a problem? And you know what he said to me? Who are you again? Doug. I'm not even going to take credit for it. I worked for multiple people, and I saw experts work. And I've had this scenario before. Citral citrus juices. There was a meat packing plant and with Citral citrus juices produced all the orange juice from Disney. I was involved in that with Bonner Roofing. There was a meat packing plant with Quality Roofing. I did one with Advanced Roofing in Miami. It was just a meat distributor, but it was a cold room, and they had similar issues. They were cutting down icicles every time it rained, so they wouldn't fall and hurt anybody and take up space in their warehouse and whatnot. And you got to get to the bottom of why you're having a problem, and it's going to be, related to thermal bridging. And if you've never got into this information, or you have anybody that's going to get you to put on a cold room, I can tell you these buildings are length times width. I got 3 specs that work. And you need to put that roof to sleep and lower those lights down away from the deck so you get an even temperature. And that is going to save them a shit ton of money, because by the time the engineer starts from scratch and figures it out, there's going to be a $12,000 bill. 100%. And I didn't create any of this. I didn't do anything. I don't really even deserve any credit. The only thing is I remember and I listen. And you never know who you're going to learn from. And that is why I'm a killer right now. If you go to a roof, I got a guy that installs it every single day. And he'll stand on it with me and say, this is what we're doing. 100%. That's what I bring to the table. Peace.